This is a Chinese puzzle called the Tangram, and using this is going to satisfy one of the requirements for the Creative Solutions badge. The requirement calls for me to make a copy of the puzzle and then cut it up into its 7 pieces. After that, I'm supposed to create 5 different images with all 7 pieces. Each piece must touch at least one other piece, but they may not overlap, and I have to use all 7 of them for each image. The tangram divides into 5 right triangles, 1 square, 1 parallelogram. So for this mental adventure, I just went ahead and ran the video camera for 30 minutes to see how many I could come up with, assuming 5 was going to be a piece of cake. But don't worry, you do not have to watch 30 minutes of this, the equivalent of paint drawing. I've sped up the many parts where my eyes and my brain are clearly incapable of working together. But while we watch, here's a little history on the tangram. It's thought to have had its beginnings as furniture, apparently, in the Song dynasty in China, which stretched from 960 AD to 1279 AD. And it seems to have morphed into a set of wooden puzzle blocks for playing, perhaps at the end of the Ming dynasty. Now, to quote Wikipedia here, the tangram's existence in the West was verified no earlier than the early 19th century when they were brought to America on Chinese-American ships. The earliest known example, given to the son of an American shipowner in 1802, is made of ivory and has a silk box, end quote. Now that was good information. And the author has even managed to use the words early, earlier, and earliest in only 2 sentences. So I think that calls for both a bravo and a good editor. The tangram puzzle has been used to teach geometry, and Lewis Carroll of Alice in Wonderland fame is reported to have been quite the tangram enthusiast. So, how many images can be made from this puzzle? Boy, I've read all kinds of accounts, from as few as just a couple hundred to as many as 6.13 million fully matched configurations, meaning at least one edge or vertex of any piece is matched to another edge or vertex of any piece. A fully matched configuration doesn't, however, mean that we would recognize the images resembling anything in what we think of as the real world. So why is this puzzle cool? Again, we turn to Wikipedia, which quotes American graphic designer Paul Rand with the best reasoning that I've heard. Mr. Rand says, quote, "Many design problems can be posed with these games in mind. The main principle to be learned is that of economy of means, making the most of the least. Further, the game helps to sharpen the powers of observation through the discovery of resemblances between geometric and natural forms. It helps the student to abstract, to see a triangle, for example, as a face, a tree, an eye, a nose, depending on the context in which the pieces are arranged. Such observation is essential in the study of visual symbols." Cool, huh? And given Mr. Rand's thoughts, I think I've amply met this requirement, at least in the abstract, and I also think that that's why this puzzle looks easy, but it isn't, at least for me. My eyes are not trained to see like a designer or a visual artist sees. But I really think that the Tangrams would be a totally great name for a band. I googled it to see if there was a band out there with that name, and it looks like no one snatched it up, so go at it, kiddos. One other step to this requirement is that I share this tangram with others and invite them to try it out for themselves. So I'm putting the JPEG image on the Tangram blog post. Right-click to save it on your computer, or you can play online on a few sites, including the ones listed in the title credits here. This was fun!